everyone, Ryan Reynolds just tweeted out something on his Twitter, which I found kind of interesting. He basically said that Deadpool 3 will be officially coming out September 6th, 2024. That's 2 years from now. Little shy of it, but it's 2 years from now. Nothing else really came out of the announcement for Deadpool 3, except for one minor little detail. Hugh Jackman's going to be in it as Wolverine. That's right, you heard me. We're going to get Deadpool and Wolverine, starring Hugh Jackman, not a new Wolverine, in 2024 for Deadpool 3. And I am beyond excited. Like, this is going to be incredible. All I've wanted is for Deadpool to team up with any superhero. But if you know comic books, some of his best interactions come from his team-ups with Wolverine and Spider-Man. So now all we need to do is convince Sony to let him team up with Tom Holland. But that's an argument for another day. But I wanted to let you guys know about this news. And if you're wondering why I'm making a video like this, stick around to the end of this video and I'll explain that. But before we get there, I wanted to tell you my theory for what I think they're going to do in Deadpool 3, how they're going to make this work. Now, this is going to involve multiverse travel and time travel and that kind of a thing. Luckily, Multiverse of Madness and Loki have now set up that we have a multiverse for the MCU to exist within. See, what I think is going to happen is that Deadpool is still in the original X-Men timeline. And when we last checked in with Wolverine, he was in the Old Man Logan movie, which was his final movie, his swan song, one of the greatest superhero movies to exist, in which he dies. But what we haven't seen is what happens between Old Man Logan and that last X-Men movie, which I believe was Dark Phoenix, but don't quote me if I'm wrong. What I think they're going to do is Deadpool 3 is going to take place between that last X-Men movie and Old Man Logan. And what's going to happen is they're going to get stuck on a multiverse adventure. They're going to get plucked out of the timeline, or they're going to explore stuff within Old Man Logan, but they're going to get plucked out of the timeline by Mr. Fantastic. Now you might be wondering, Benny, where did you get Mr. Fantastic from? Well, sit down, because the news gets far more incredible. You see, what happened is John Krasinski, the guy that played Mr. Fantastic in Multiverse of Madness, retweeted the tweet stating, "Is this our movie? Our movie." So he at least probably has a cameo within the movie. Why would he have a cameo? Well, the Fantastic Four are known for traveling space and interdimensional stuff, like multiverse dimensions. So what if John Krasinski's Mr. Fantastic is just coming through, somehow Wolverine and Deadpool, maybe Deadpool's arguing with Wolverine in the Old Man Logan timeline, somehow they're together, Mr. Fantastic is going by, somehow they end up in his Fantastic car and they end up traveling through the multiverse. Now we're on a crazy adventure where they do whatever the movie's going to pertain to. Who knows, but I'm thinking it's just gonna be a goofy rom-com buddy cop kind of a thing, because that's a very Deadpool thing to do. If you forgot, Deadpool 1 came out on Valentine's Day. Anyway, what I see happening at the end of all of that is, for some reason, Deadpool can't get back to his proper timeline. So they end up going to the MCU, and ta-da! Deadpool's now in the MCU. But Wolverine can go back to the Old Man Logan timeline. Maybe something happens where they get separated, Wolverine can go back, Deadpool can't. Or maybe Wolverine goes back, and then the Spider-Man stuff happens, where they break the multiverse, or the Loki stuff happens, and Deadpool gets stuck, dropped into the MCU, placing him over there. The big question that all of this presents, though, is what is going to happen afterwards? Ryan Reynolds said that he's taking a break from acting. Hugh Jackman has already said he's done playing Wolverine. What I think they're going to do with this is Hugh Jackman is coming back to do this movie, and then he will show up in Secret Wars. I don't personally think he's even going to touch grass in the MCU. The reason for this is simple. If he joins into the MCU, the fan base is going to freak out and just want Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, even if he doesn't want to do the role anymore. But if he never comes to the MCU, we can still eventually introduce a Wolverine within the MCU. Ryan Reynolds coming to the MCU because he stated in this teaser trailer, Deadpool's first MCU movie, makes sense, especially if he intends on doing cameos and continuing with the Deadpool 4, 5, and 6, or whatever he wants to do. But if we have Hugh Jackman never even come into the MCU, then that would make sense. You could even have him show up in Secret Wars, because Secret Wars technically takes place on Battleworld, which technically wouldn't be the MCU. But what are your thoughts on this movie? What are your theories as to what they're going to be doing? I'd really like to know down below, because the only thing we have right now is Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are going to co-star in Deadpool number 3. That is literally all we have confirmed. Even the John Krasinski tweet is just a tweet, which could be nothing more than John Krasinski going, watch this, watch it. It's gonna be hilarious. I'm gonna say a minute. I'm gonna say a minute. Well, it's gonna be great. So, I mean, we don't even know. Now, if you're wondering why I'm doing this video, It's a little bit of a spoiler for the channel here, but we thought about bringing back my on-screen appearances. 2 years ago, I used to do this kind of thing all the time, where we would talk about the latest stuff within comic books, the controversial stuff, and the regular stuff, big news, big happenings, same thing for movies and TV shows. We've actually been working on a new set to do that on, and that's why you haven't seen me on camera in a little while. I took a bit of a break from doing it, and now we're gonna come back to doing it. We were going to be kicking this off probably next week, but you know, the Deadpool news happened. So you're not going to get to see the new set yet. This set is actually my podcast set, where we've already done a much larger discussion on the Deadpool 3 news. I chatted with Hassan Kader, who does the Mickey Mouse puppet thing. It's really weird, but don't worry about that. He doesn't do it on our channel. I chatted with Hassan. I chatted with Sal from Comic Pop over on Absolutely Marvel and DC. I will link that down below. It's the channel where I do podcast videos pretty much 5 days a week talking about Marvel and DC movies and TV shows. But over here on Comicstorian, you're going to start to see my face more often. I know we've been doing a lot of shorts lately. That's where you're seeing my face and the stories, but I'm going to be on the main channel stuff. And if you like this type of content, if you want to see me talking to you directly, letting you know about controversial stuff or awesome rumors or great news, give this video a like. Right now, YouTube's in a weird spot, and I really need you guys to comment down below and give this video a like if you want Comicstorian to survive. Just let me know what your theories are for Deadpool, or let me know that you like the style of content, or just give it a like if you can, if that's all you can do. I would really appreciate all of that. Anyway, at the end of it, guys, I'm Benny. I run this channel. I hope you enjoyed today. And don't worry, we've got a lot more complete stories and full stories coming your way this week. I got like Wolverine and Deadpool stuff already planned. Thank you. I'll see you next time.